origins to not just the markers, but of the entire Dead Space universe is still one that keeps many of us up at night. The question of what came before, what happened to the creators, and what motivated the creation of such a relic of evil still lingers within our minds, with no lore or story elements that have even hinted at these origins. All we have is our imagination to guide our path. And today I'm going to share another one of my theories on the origins of the markers in the Dead Space universe. Last time, I spoke on what if the precursors had fled the Halo universe, coming to this one, and began their work once again, leading into the creation of the markers. But now let's focus on what the motivations could have been in creating the markers that seems more in line with the lore of Dead Space. In an unknown time, eons before humanity or the Talvalantians had rose from the oceans of their own worlds, there existed a different species, one that was highly advanced in the technological sphere across the stars of the infinite cosmos. Despite of their advancements, however, they found their world to be dying, with the industrialization of their home world choking the planet they inhabited. The resources they once had harvested weren't as plentiful as they once had been, and the well had begun to dry up. This would force the alien race to expand their territories into the stars, constructing spacefaring crafts, allowing them access to not just new worlds but new resources. As they scoped the universe for these new worlds, news would come from the home world, informing the ones that scoured the universe that the planets had become unstable and their civilization had been on the brink of destruction. Desperate and on the edge of extinction, the aliens would find a suitable replacement world and began construction on their new civilization. And with such an expansion came a new resource discovery, and upon experimentation, the aliens found that the resource could be transmuted into a new type of energy, one that would prove to be more efficient than the previous electrical energy, and would be less harmful than the burning of the fossil fuels the planets had to offer. With this discovery in hand, the aliens would vow that they would never be forced to seek out new worlds, and that this world would be a sanctuary of those past evils that choked their home planet. Over the years, however, the aliens would find themselves on the brink of extinction once again, with the shortage of food, with not enough to sustain their population. It seemed that these issues followed the aliens no matter what they did. Just like a hydra, one problem solved, another would suddenly sprout out, which exhausted them to no end. The aliens would have no choice but to break their oath and seek out new worlds once again in search for food. However, all they could find in their system had been dead planets with no life on them. Some would begin to think that the two worlds they had inhabited before had just been flukes, but they continued to persist. Despite of the yearly search through the cosmos, the population starved of vital food began to diminish, and then another issue had soon risen up with the lack of medicines, which made the population decline even faster. Desperate for a way out of the decline of life, the aliens set their finest scientists and alchemists on solving the issue another way. If they couldn't find the nutrients and minerals required for survival, then they would look into the power of immortality, which would stop the decline long enough for them to find sustenance. With each and every year, every attempt would either cause great discomfort or the death of the individual being experimented upon, until the aliens had theorized about creating a device that would link up with the minds of those that surround it, that would change the DNA of the species it targeted to allow for the absence of food and water. This would be widely accepted as possibility, and thus the creation of the marker had been conducted, and soon they would all be exposed to the one true marker. Upon activation, the aliens noticed the effects it had on their technology and communications. With little disruption, the aliens continued to study the effects it had on them, and with their research came great promise, as the marker with its genetic signal seeming to change the DNA of the hosts rapidly. Believing they had done it, they had rejoiced and relaxed within the reach of their savior, and after opening their minds to the marker, they believed to be free of death. But with this came dire news, as the marker over the passing weeks or months began to develop something within itself, a deep burning desire to be made whole, as it began to develop a sense of sentience. Soon the aliens would find that the marker had begun to invade their sleep, casting visions of a terrible future to fall upon them, which caused insomnia to take place. With it, depression took root, and they all began hearing a whisper in the air. Little did they know, the marker had been changing the recently deceased aliens, which began to form the very first necromorphs that began to kill their species one by one, or in other times in great groups. Unaware of the treachery taking place, the aliens would charge in, believing in their delusion that they would still be bestowed the power of immortality, and eventually the aliens' lives would be snuffed out like a candle in the wind. The marker would then begin the final stage of convergence, birthing the first of many brethren moons, leaving the proud alien creators' worlds as husks of what they once had been in the soon-to-be dead space. Now, I've been thinking a lot recently about the origins of the markers and what came first between the moons and the markers, but I do have other theories that delve deeper into why the marker has certain attributes, such as the symbols on its skin. But I do theorize that the first marker had been able to change its properties to suit its own interests, but through the many alterations and copies being made, that ability had waned over time, like the genetics of certain species with certain abilities becoming weaker as the ages pass by, with evolution kicking in. However, what are your thoughts about this? Let me know in the comments section below, and I'll get back to you. And if you would like to hear more of my theories, then tell me about it, and we'll see about making more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my ramblings for today, then hit the like rating. Share this video with others to spread the signal of this channel even further into the world. Sign up to join the British Alliance today by hitting the subscribe button, and don't forget to have rung in the notification bell, allowing the updates to always be notified for new videos. Check out the description for my socials and the Discord, as I post updates there too. A special thank you to the channel members for your extra support, which helps me to create more content, and I will see all of you among the cosmos, and be sure to leave this video having a good one.